How do courts handle prejudicial evidence with low probative value? Have you ever wondered how courts decide what evidence can be shown to a jury? One key factor in this decision is something called probative value. Let's break it down. Probative value refers to how much a piece of evidence helps prove a fact that is important to the case. However, not all evidence is created equal. Some evidence may be relevant but can also be prejudicial, meaning it might unfairly sway the jury's opinion. Courts use a balancing test to manage this situation, particularly under the Federal Rule of Evidence 403. This rule allows judges to exclude evidence if its probative value is substantially outweighed by the risk of unfair prejudice. Unfair prejudice can occur when evidence causes the jury to make decisions based on emotions rather than facts. When a judge evaluates evidence, they first look at its probative value. They ask themselves how strongly the evidence supports or contradicts a key fact in the case. If the evidence is likely to lead the jury to an improper conclusion, it may be excluded. For instance, graphic images or emotionally charged testimonies that do not add much factual information might be tossed out. Before making a decision to exclude evidence, judges often consider alternatives. One option is to give the jury a limiting instruction. This is a guideline that helps jurors understand how to properly consider the evidence, reducing the chance of unfair prejudice. If a limiting instruction can address the concerns, the evidence may still be allowed in court. Judges also think about other factors. They consider whether the evidence could confuse the jury or mislead them. They also look at whether it would cause delays or waste time in the trial. If the evidence is repetitive and does not provide new information, it might be excluded as well. The main goal is to keep the trial fair and focused on relevant facts. Judges act as gatekeepers, carefully reviewing evidence before it goes to the jury. Attorneys will argue for and against the admission of evidence, but the judge has the final say based on this balancing test. In summary, courts handle prejudicial evidence with low probative value by weighing its risks against its usefulness. This careful approach helps maintain the fairness and clarity of the judicial process, ensuring that only evidence that meets the necessary standards is presented to the jury.